Good day. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm J Pinkert. I'm a trader coach for yourtradingroom.com. Whole world's bullish a dollar. How many dollar bulls do we have in here in the room today? We have the Dixie pushing to new highs. Okay. You may want to begin to temper that over the next few days. So let's get going here. Start off with the dollar index. Here's your spot contract here. Everyone see the Dixie? Here was the high that you had in September. See this high? Here's the high we had in mid-December. See this high? Had a non-confirmation. And after a little sideways activity pushing the new highs right up here, another non-confirmation. You never know how long a rubber band can stretch, but to me it looks like we're coming out of here. This could be a terminal move between here and 82, 83 max. And then I'm looking for this move to be terminal, especially if we're not able to close and confirm the high above 70 on the RSI. Can I get some Y's in the room? They understand this analysis on the dollar index. Okay. How about some disagreement? All right, you guys are my regulars here. What's your target in the dollar index, Kareem? Dan, Solby, Lopez. Let's make this session collaborative. It's being taped, so let's show the street that people that come to these webinars are very well informed, as well as having new people. 85, 86, heard that number. Kareem's looking for a high right in here. Toby, another 3 points. I'm more in Kareem's camp here. I don't think there's much left in it. One of the fundamental reasons, and I'm sure you guys have been hearing about the Commitment of Traders report, that the commercials, the large institutions have been accumulating euro for over a month now. They have much deeper pockets and bigger accounts than any of us do here in this room. But I'm thinking that there's the potential of EG being a good way to play it, that people are most likely short that pair, and you don't have the same beta for trying to bottom pick the euro, but we'll get to the euro. There still is some daily divergence. When we were here together before Christmas, we'll talk about what we said then and what's happening now. But it's my contention that you don't hear anyone talking about a bull case in euro, do you? Very few. And by far not bullish, but at least due for some type of correction that could take it back to the 32 area. 31 and a half, 32. We get through there, you could be looking at 35, 36, and no one's really looking for that. I've seen many inflection points on NFP numbers, which we have tomorrow. I really don't believe in having big positions into the NFP. To me, that's roulette. You're betting red or black. I have a small bet on black in EG where I'm bottom picking it right here. 133 is Kareem's number. I've followed some of his work. He's pretty good. So there are some potential moving averages that we get into. The main point I want to make is this overwhelming dollar bullishness because of all the headline risk out of Europe is a very crowded trade. And we all saw what happened when gold got very crowded about 4 months ago. Okay, so it didn't end the bull market in gold, did it? But the correction was very painful to people who came late to the party and those that were over leveraged and gave back huge profits on that pullback in gold that I still don't believe has completed. So that's my take here on the dollar index. Just to tighten it up a little bit, we'll take a look at the 60-minute chart. Let's go back 40 days. You guys know that I do a lot with RSI to tell me whether or not we have confirmed highs or confirmed lows. This to me is a non-confirmation. The RSI is a bit extreme. I prefer tops in the 70 range. So maybe we get a pullback and then another push, but definitely within the 60-minute chart, the high that we had in mid-December, late December, excuse me, we have definite divergence there. And I think if we went back to mid-December, we'd see it there too. Let me take a look at the 90-minute chart. It'll give us a little bit more history on this. For those of you who have been to my webinars here at FX Street over the last year, I think it's been about a year I've been doing these for this great website and FX Educator. If you've learned anything from my work and what I've shared with you over the last 12-month period, give me a why and tell me what it was. This could be the third drive, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, that's one thing that I have taught, haven't I? 3 drive patterns. A little bit stretched out between this one and that one. But we do have some divergence developing between these two highs, lower high. This is why I thought there would be another rally. This was right before Christmas in here, is because we had a confirmed high. It confirmed it again, and then after this pullback, we've had a non-confirmation on the 90-minute. So let's get to some of the individual pairs now. CAD's a very tough call for me in here. Possibility that all we do is correct this recent decline. The question I have to ask myself is, if the dollar, unless the dollar is really ready to explode to the targets that were mentioned, 85, 86 by Dan, I have to ask myself, with the dollar index at new highs, why are we here in Canada instead of here where we were last September, or even here? So we're successively making lower highs. Tells me that the correction is not over in Canada. Maybe this is going to be the sell zone up here. If we get another 100 points or so back above 103, that's a potential sell zone. So I'm really not impressed with it. I think that we're going to see a better buy under par, and if we really get a good dollar break, it could be as deep as 97.5. Especially if crude gets going to the upside and the S&Ps begin to roar towards that 1300 level. 3, stop hunting. RSI. Okay, guys, those are pearls. Are they helping your trading? Are you implementing them in your trades? Recognizing them and doing anything about it? Yes, there are live rooms 24 hours a day, JP, at your trading room. I'm in a couple. I teach and trade with prop traders and our platinum membership. Okay. So I still lean towards another sell-off in Canada after a little more strength, unless we're really going to have a rocket ship here. British pound, it's going to be interesting. Unlike euro, it has not taken out the lows, but I think there are a lot of people hiding in the pound because they don't want to own euro. Okay? And technically, it still looks kind of negative. For people looking for, like, for example, Kareem looking for 133 euro, what's your downside target? I have about 27.10. based upon just a measured move off this continuation formation. Okay. On the same page. So you have to ask yourself now, who learned about stop hunting? Van. Where are the stops, Van? There any self-stops left? This is what I wanted to talk about on the euro. This was before Christmas, and we talked about it and said, well, we could get one more low, and that would set up a divergence, right? Which is exactly what happened during the holiday. We took out these lows, and it was not confirmed. Had this bounce, and now we're having this flush right here. And what kind of low do we have here? For those that follow my RSI work, what kind of low is this? Anyone know what kind of low to call it based upon the RSI? That's right. And it's the second one. And it's the second one above 30. So the daily looks ugly, and, you know, if we continue to melt down, it'll blow it out. But right now you have to respect it, and especially with sentiment being the way it is, I'm thinking that within the next 72 hours between the NFP and Tuesday, we have some type of bottom setting up here, and I actually have a line up here around Kareem's objective. You know, I don't know why you can't make a case for some type of 50% correction of this decline. And if you really want to get dollar bearish for a while, and the way sentiment is, I think it's possible. Why not look for some type of fib retracement from the 150 level to down here? That gives you the possibility of sometime in the spring trading 138, 140. So I'm open to that. Because no one could see a reason for it now. There is no reason to believe there's going to be a rally in euro. I can't think of one reason. Can you? Anyone have a reason or an argument why the euro should appreciate against the U.S. dollar? Okay, well that makes me nervous to be short when you can't come up with one reason. We will know the reasons down the road. The reporters will tell us why, but it'll be well after the fact. Okay? Moving over to U.S. dollar, right. That's a good enough reason. So you have to ask yourself, again, where are the stops? And we took out this low, the late November low of 128.73. Okay? So all that's left is to go back to the low of the move. There's some support here. And it's very possible that all we're doing is flushing things out and the euro may have a big bounce. I'm just saying it's showing nothing that it will yet, but I'd be careful with my bullish dollar positions after perhaps another 100 pips here in the euro. U.S. dollar yen, still believe we're going to see a 74 handle in here. Had a nice bounce here, but next time under 76.50, I believe we're going to challenge the intervention low. So that would also be part of a reprieve in the dollar bull market for this to trade down to 74.30, 74.5. Those are my targets for yen, although we did have a nice day today. Yeah, it would be. So, you know, I'm not talking about a long-term fundamental case. I'm talking about a crowded trade with sentiment being extreme with the big guys. Yes, it could. And it may well do so because today's numbers, the ADP report was very bullish and it didn't. So If the unemployment rate does not go up, it could ignite it. Or maybe it's going to be ignited no matter what. I've seen NFP numbers, and you could go back on your charts and look at NFP numbers, and at times that day is a turning point. If it's been going down, turn for a bottom, and if it's going up, potential highs. Okay, Lopez? Does that help? They have been significant inflection points within 72 hours. Maybe not 5 minutes after the release. Okay? So, patience. Well, I'm thinking back down around the 118 level for the guppy. Just enough to shake out the longs here. Probably goes along with what happens in the yen, and then I think you could have a pretty good rally. I'd be a buyer down there. In the meantime, I think there's a flush left. Euro yen doesn't really seem ready to me yet. We don't have the same divergences that we had on euro. See that? We're diverging, but we're under 30, unlike the daily in euro. Well, we're still above 30. Okay, so it's acting better, and euro GBP is losing some downside momentum, and there is some divergence. Just a shade under 30 here, so this is the first divergence in this. I'm long from 61. Probably going to take some heat. 119.20 in what? In the guppy? I heard someone talking 118.50. We'll see. Probably the currency that will benefit the most during a period of dollar weakness is going to be your commodity currencies. It's going to be the Aussie, and it's going to be the Kiwi. So we're way off the lows from when the dollar index was 81 last time. Perhaps you look at some type of fib retracement in here, and one reason I believe it's a possibility of another new high in Kiwi is what kind of high did we have here on the 4-hour chart? I'll pull it up near the end incognito. So what does that imply, Dan? Right. What's the implication of a confirmed high? That's right. So we've renamed the RSI Relative Strength Index to the Real Simple Implicator. So when the dollar looks like it's peaking, whether it's around the areas I'm looking at, 82, 84, should be looking to establish some long positions in Aussie and Kiwi. Same setup on the 4-hour. We had divergence up here, but a little bit too much upside momentum. Now if we had a good rally, say from the 102 level or so to new highs, we would have the divergence. Okay, so the 4-hour also had a confirmed high up here. Makes me think that after this little pullback is over, that we're going to make another attempt above these highs in Aussie. And the reverse of what's happening in euro is happening here in the Swiss. How do you like these colors? What kind of high was this in the Swiss on the daily? You got it, Donnie. See this daily high? This is a proprietary indicator. It's a MACD. It was confirmed right at Lopez. What's going to happen now? We're only 18 pips away from this high, 20 pips away. What kind of high are we going to have here? So how do we use that information, Dan? going forward? What should we be looking to do? Potentially, right. Might take a little work, right. And what kind of correction could we have? Something like this? Equal to? So if we get up, say, 96, let's give it another 100 pips, 96 and a half, and we had something similar to here, would take us back towards 90. And if this was A and this is an irregular B, and we get 1.618 of this from up here, that would take us down to an 85. Yeah, third drive. Yeah, that would take us all the way back down towards the 85 level, which is where I think the Swiss will be a good buy again. So I'm looking for short setups in Swiss going forward. Because where are the stops now? There might be some buy stops left here, but where else are they? The stops are all beneath the market now. And the grand prize would be these stops here, under 85.60. But plenty of other stops to take along the way once we top. Sure, there's a ton of stops here and here and here and here. So that's my take. I think we're close to a turning point. I may be all wet. But I think that by the time we get back together next Thursday, some people might be singing a little different tune about the dollar. So as in everything else, time will tell. And now I'm going to open it up for questions or other pairs that you guys would like my eyeball view of. What do you want? What do you got? Euro Swiss. There was gold. Okay. There was one before this. What was that? That was it. Incognito. Pound Aussie. Where is it? I've never traded that pair. Kind of looks like a descending triangle here on the daily. See what's going on shorter term. Doesn't look bad. I'd like to see one more low in it. And that's kind of the way it looks to me. You've had these three little hits right here. I'd like to see new lows and one more divergence. You could see that first. Euro Aussie. I know a lot of people are looking at that. Where is it? One more drive. I like the way it's setting up. One drive, 2, 3. Could be a good trade. But I'd look for one more low. So it's going to set up with the dollar, I think. Does that help? Thank you, Incognito. All right, well, I want to thank everyone for your attention. Good luck tomorrow. Euro yen? I think we're getting close. You have some decent divergence happening here. I'm close to trying it. The only thing that bothers me about this, more than the euro part of the equation, is the yen part of the equation. Well, you could say 1, 2, 3. I'll give you a cleaner one. That one we were looking at prior. You could have 3 in the final one, too. So, on the Kiwi and Aussie, you had one near the top. It's clear in Aussie. Kareem caught it. 1, 2, 3. See that? Lower peaks, lower peaks. That was your high. Now maybe you got 1, 2, and one more to come. Okay? That help? And they could be more spread out too. Okay, everyone. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Good hunting to you. Remember, look at your charts and try and figure out who's long, who's short, and where their stops are, and try and position yourself for those events. If you're interested in finding me, this is where I work. And I wish you a Happy New Year and all good things to you and your families. See you next week. You're very welcome. You're welcome, Toby, Donnie, Soulman. Have a good year, everybody. Thank you, Matthias. Kareem. Okay, Happy New Year, everyone.